Hi Virgo, welcome to your energy check-in. As you guys know, these readings are timeless and signless. And so you don't actually have to have any Virgo placements in your natal chart, and you don't actually have to be watching at the time that this video is being made, which is pretty much going into mid-April 2021. If you'd like to have a personal reading with me, I am more than happy to have you. Please know that I offer readings starting at $20 and heading on up to around $300. I offer many different kinds of readings as well. So come along, check out my Etsy shop and see what, if anything, feels right for you. Okay. I'm getting this energy of doubling down, and just as I looked at the time, it said 44 seconds. So there's that double energy of 4-4. But you know what? I also before the camera started, I heard I wanted to be the star. Okay, so I'm not sure if that means anything for anybody here, but it does come through as having a karmic connection, a Saturn connection. So it tells me that it was connected to a lesson that you've been learning. So right now we see that this part wants to remain open. So Spirit is like, well, this is seeming a little bit like a door, like a checkpoint, right? And so we're just building on this left side, and let's see what's up. Okay, so if this reading is for you, so far I do feel that you are going through some type of process of wrapping something up. Some of you may actually be moving, but more than anything, I feel that you are being asked to focus on building a firm foundation. So notice this says hold your center. Now the reason why they're asking you to build a firm foundation, which is kind of strange, right? Because it's like, wait, aren't I moving, right? Is because you're going through some type of process that is kind of breaking up the ground around you. It kind of looks like this actually. Look at how this person is seated here. And then around here, we've got all these rocks and whatnot. Actually, you can't see that, but, but I think they're there. I think so. And so the whole idea is that you're going through a period of closing out some major cycles, clearing some things out, coming to terms with some things, understanding the self. And I feel a lot of kicking and screaming. That's what I'm getting. So a lot of teeth pulling. So I do feel that you may be fighting against this ending, whatever it is. I'm getting a surfing connection, and a beach connection. But whatever this is, I feel that you may be fighting it and trying to hold on to certain things as a tornado kind of rips through, and tornado, which would be God's vacuum, so to speak, rips through and pulls things out of your life. And look at the next card, paradigm shift, right? So Spirit is saying we're not throwing the baby out with the bathwater, but before you start thinking, oh, okay, so I don't actually have to leave this person, it's just things are changing, they're actually referring to you, super cutes, as the baby. Okay, so they're saying that's why it's like hold your center, because you are going to be there after all of this is it has been completed. In fact, look at this. Here you are in the middle, you've got this protection, and you've got all this activity around you. Here you are in the middle, you've got all this activity around you. Spirit is saying hold your center while we vacuum out your life. And everything is literally being vacuumed out, and here you are at this precipice. You're at this place where you're being asked to make a paradigm shift, right? So it's interesting because as I'm looking at this, I'm getting that a lot of you are trying all sorts of ways to get out of making this leap of faith, out of making this shift or this transition into your new beginning. I'm seeing that they gave me the words used car salesman. So some of you may be trying to bargain your way out of doing things. Okay, well, I can give these up, but I'm not going to give up this guy because look, he's here now, right? He's cute. Do you see his tattoos, right? Whatever this is, Spirit is saying you can't bargain your way out of elevation, out of evolution, out of shifting, because it's either you're at a certain vibration or you're not. And because you're shifting into a new vibration, there are just some things that, try as you might, they cannot follow you there. Why? Because they don't vibe at that energy. They're not harmonically resonant with you. And so this is from a higher perspective, right? As we're looking down upon your energy fields and whatnot. But from the lower perspective where we are, what does that feel like? It's like, oh my gosh, I got this new job and I'm moving to this new place, and my boyfriend doesn't want to move with me, and I don't think we're gonna make it because I already signed this lease, and now he's like, it's one of those things, right? So, or it could be something where you just started opening up to meditation and sound healing, and your girlfriend doesn't get why you're doing it. You used to be so reliable, you used to be home at night, and now you're off making new friends and doing new things, and your body is starting to change because you're changing your diet, you're working out, and she just can't see why you are doing so much, and what about her? And so you see that what I'm trying to say is that try as you might, as spirit vacuums out all of these lower vibrations, all of these unnecessary energy patterns, is what they're saying. There are just certain things that can no longer stay in your life because there's no template, there's no energetic template upon which those physical manifestations can hold themselves, right? And so they naturally fall away. And so that's why you can't bargain your way out of having this new beginning. All you can do is kind of stall it. And they're like, come on, right? And so it's funny because I'm thinking, they're like, come on, but I'm actually getting that for some of you, they're actually saying, no, take your time to have this new beginning, but just know you're delaying it. And once you actually step off the bridge and you have that new transition, you're going to be like, oh my God, why didn't I do this earlier? Because here's my main person, or here's the home of my dreams, or wow, this new workplace actually feels much more like me than what I was trying to hold on to. So Spirit is saying what we have for you is actually pretty good. And in fact, look at how the cards have fallen. We've got this checkpoint. They're trying to get you to get through the door, and so you can have that shift and you can go according to plan. And look what's on the other side of that: devotion. So I feel that if this reading is for you, regardless of what your placements are, if it resonates for you, then whatever it is that you are trying to avoid this process, it's actually leading to something that you're actually going to love more because it's more your speed. You don't know it, but they're vacuuming stuff out around you. Things are shifting around you, and eventually you're just going to become too uncomfortable. You're going to feel too uncomfortable to stay where you are. I just looked up 7 minutes and 7 seconds. They want to remind me to mention to you guys what I was thinking about earlier. They were saying that somebody here is having some type of, thank you. Why you're stalling a bit on having this new beginning is because you may have a religious connection, a connection to the divine that feels actually pretty beautiful. It feels really religious is what I'm saying, but in a beautiful way. But Spirit wants you to upgrade yourself, and it requires you to open yourself up a little bit more. Open up your mind, open up your senses, open up your awareness, open up your understanding. So they're saying that you don't actually have to get rid of your religious connection or get rid of the people in your life who are of that religion. Of course, you're going to have to guard your new life because it's going to be representative of you, and you don't want somebody tearing you down, right? But you don't have to throw the baby out with the bathwater. They're not saying, hey, you need to get rid of all your friends. They're saying, no, please open up to the next step in your personal evolution. And for you, I do sense that you're going to be opening up the senses. So Spirit may be working with you to kind of like work with you on your dreams. So you may start having pretty vivid dreams. You may wake up after you may wake up and realize, oh my gosh, I was just in some type of meeting or classroom or something, and a webinar or something like that, and I was learning all these kinds of things. And it's more of an expansive view. Your clairs might start to improve, your clairvoyance, your clairsentience, things like that. And these are things that may not fit into more of the two-dimensional or fundamental aspects of the religion that you were a part of, and of the church group. Or it does feel like a church kind of setting, but it doesn't have to. Remember, there are quite a few of you who may be watching this, but remember, your specific group of people practicing that faith may not be as open as you are about to naturally become along your natural path. So you can sit and wait around until they get to that place, but it might not be in their script right now, right? Or you can really open yourself and let yourself move along this path, and know that whoever is still there with you is who is going to vibe with you. And also remember, when we when we take steps forward, regardless of whatever it is, whether it's to go back to school or to venture out and try some, what is it, zip lining or something like that. When we venture out and we do things that are new along our path naturally, we serve as inspirations for other people around us. And we may not know it, but we may have a soul contract with other people to inspire them and to be the pioneer and then open the door for them to come in, provided that we take the steps we need to take in staying true to ourselves. And so Spirit is saying that for somebody here, your new beginning requires you to start opening up to a more expanded conscious awareness around spirituality and your connection to the universe. Now, Spirit is giving us this idea here where I'm seeing one person, you the listener, standing in this great, across this great landscape, and it's just you. It's nighttime, and we have the aurora borealis overhead, and we have a huge body of water in front of us as well, and we're just there. Imagine the silence that's there, but your senses are overloaded in a great way with all the magnificence that you see, the beauty everywhere you look. It's filled with information. It's giving you, oh my gosh, look at that star combination. Wow, look at the colors that I'm feeling. Oh, I just felt that chill. It feels so good. And so Spirit is asking you in this moment to get into alignment with a higher aspect of yourself. And you notice in that moment, that very moment, you're learning more about yourself in this, 15 minutes that you decide to stay outside under the aurora borealis, and then you would learn in 3 hours of binging whatever on Netflix, right? And so Spirit is saying it's time to step out into newness. And so they're asking you to compare this moment where you are, where you're trying to hold on to a life that is no longer in alignment with your potential, whether it be a relationship, a job, workplace, a home space, a way of appearing, like your appearance, like, whatever it is, your ideology, things that you espouse. And so the question is, can you be true to yourself to make this new beginning? Hold on, let me, I keep forgetting to have a pen and paper around so I can write okay. Okay. I had to write that down. Okay. And so that's what Spirit is asking you to take control of. So ask yourself that and then make a conscious decision. But as you're doing that, remember to hold your they're saying hold your spirit, hold your space like this. Because guess what? Like I said, they're vacuuming things around you. And in other words, if I were throwing some tarot cards out right now, I would be pulling cards like the Tower card, right? I may be pulling cards like the Strength card to remind you to stay strong as things are moving around you. So there are some other cards. Let me think. I'm trying to think, would the Hermit card be here? But I don't necessarily get that energy per se. I get more the energy that things around you may be fluctuating. Doors may be closing. Thank you, Spirit. They're saying the Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, the Wheel of Fortune. Yay! That one, the Wheel of Fortune card would come out. We could have, I don't want to say Ace of Wands, that new beginning, that dynamic new beginning, because it feels more like a curtain closing down and you turning off the lights and you kind of just slipping through the door, as opposed to like, bam, this brand new beginning. So it doesn't give me that. But yeah, so there are some cards, but there's an energy to it. Okay. So Virgo. Okay. Let's see. Where would they like to go next? Let's go ahead and pull some of these cards. These are beautiful. Okay. Yeah, I want to comment because Spirit is saying you know what you need to do. If you're here in this reading and this reading is for you, you have a very clear idea about what needs to be done. You're just choosing not to do it for whatever reason. And it's understandable. Let's go ahead and put this here. Okay. How would you like to fall? Okay. Now, let's talk about it. So, as I said, you're choosing not to do it for whatever reason. We talked about wanting to bargain, right? Some of you are like, well, if I don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater. But they're saying actually with these two cards here that you may actually not be able to see clearly. No wonder they're telling me Cancer. They're pointing you to the Cancer reading. Okay, so please, if this reading is for you, go ahead and look at the Cancer reading that I just did. Also, you can find a shorter version of the but less meat, of the Cancer reading on Instagram, where I have my page. It's called at Awakening All You Light Workers, but I do suggest you check out the longer version of that reading here on YouTube. But anyway, yeah, so they're saying that the reason why, one of the reasons why you are not wanting to turn this page in your life is because you don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater. In other words, you want to keep a certain relationship. You want to keep a certain status. You want to keep whatever, the pillars in your life, the things that bring you joy, quote unquote. But notice the quote unquote. Spirit is saying you actually are not able at this moment to assess what it is that is really good for you, what really aligns with you, because your energetic frequency is changing completely. So how could it be, if your energy changes so completely, how could it be that this guy, I'm seeing this guy that you live with in an apartment in New York, and I get tomatoes. That's for somebody. Wow, that was very, you have some very, very strong guides. That was very specific. But you know who you are. So, yeah, so this means maybe check out the Cancer reading. Oh, God bless. But anyway, yeah, so they're saying, how could you actually know what's for you, right? How do you know what's for you? Because you see here we have the illusion card, and then we have the foresight card in the reverse. Usually when I see this foresight card in right side up, for me it means like wedding or marriage or something. Of course it changes all the time because I read based off of the intuition and sometimes don't even rely on the original meanings of the cards. But in this one, what it's looking like to me is that for some of you, you have misperceptions around the things that you value. So for example, just like I said about the apartment situation with somebody, you think that this person that you want to stay connected with, this partnership, this counterpart, you think this is your person. But the fact is, they're saying it's not your person. And they're saying the reason why is this person, well, whoever this person is, I'm getting, but need not be for all of you, but this person that I was picking up earlier they need to learn to take accountability for their life and their actions, and they're always going to be in this blaming mode until they start to do that. And where you're going, honey, they're saying verbatim, this person can't even see you. They can't even see you is what they're saying. They're so funny. So long story short, I don't mean to laugh, but when the guides come through, you hear their accents, you hear their energies. So what they're trying to say for that person, and also generally speaking for us, whatever it is that you're trying to hold on to has no place in this new beginning that you have. Now, of course, some of you are like, really? Are you sure? Does that mean all of us? Because, well, first of all, you all have different situations, right? And that's why it's important to get a personal reading, because a lot of times when people order private readings, personal readings, after watching the same video that I have on YouTube, they all share the same dynamics, of course, but their details are so different, but the dynamics are the same. One person's dealing with a family situation, another one's dealing with a romance, another one's dealing with the company, but they share the same dynamics. And so that's why the reading will resonate for them. Okay? But Spirit is asking you, the way to really get through to the next stage for you is very simple. You're going to have to get clear about what you want to focus on. And right now, a lot of you are choosing to focus on past energies that need to be cleared out. And the reason why it's starting to feel very uncomfortable for some of you is because they've already vacuumed around you, and now they need to start vacuuming you per se, right? And that's where the heart of the matter, the baby and the bathwater and all of that is going out, right? You're the baby, they're saying. You're the baby that doesn't get thrown out with the bathwater. It's not that you and a baby, meaning a relationship or a job or whatever, get to stay. No, you're the baby. They're saying And so it would help, they're saying, if you could start to devote yourself to what it is that you would like to feel. Let's talk about that, because whenever we talk about manifestation, people are always like, I want more money. And listen, we all would like to have more money, but actually, do we? Or actually, is what we want to have more stability? Stability, freedom to access things in society, freedom to improve our circumstances and the circumstances of other people. There are many people doing these things without actually having money. Sometimes they end up having a benefactor or benefactress. Sometimes they get scholarships. Sometimes they somehow do some type of bartering arrangement. Sometimes they marry well. Sometimes they don't marry well, but they marry somebody, or they connect with somebody who's willing to provide for them in these ways. So you see, there's more than one way to get to what it is that you need. And so they're saying, start to focus on what is it that you actually want to have. And when we're talking about souls and spirits having something, we know we really shouldn't be in the realm of the physical, like oh, I want to have a baby, or I want to have a car, we need to talk about what it is that we want to experience through the having of that manifested object. So what is it that you really would like? Oh, well, I would love to have something that I can call my own, something that I can build with my love, something that brings me passion, something I can feel proud of, something that I could help to introduce into the world, and to be, cared for, and in turn care for others, and something I can give life to. Now you're talking about a baby. You can be talking about a business. You could be talking about an idea. You could be talking about a set of books that you'd like to write. So you see, you have to take your awareness higher, Spirit is saying. So I do want to reiterate for some of you guys before we completely move on. Go ahead and watch the Cancer reading if you feel that it may resonate for you, okay? But anyway, Spirit is also saying, start focusing on what you would like to have after you get your shift. In other words, look, start focusing now on what you would like to have, feel, experience after your shift is done. For example, por ejemplo, I had to say that in Spanish because I just love that phrase. For me, I would love to have freedom. I first of all, technically, I have freedom. But you know what? I'm working a lot, right? And I've got ideas in my mind about things I can and can't do, and there are certain things I want to do, but I just, so I want to sit, and what I should do in order to help focus is to sit quietly. I like a little pillow, I like a little stuffed animal, and then think to myself, what does it feel like to have not a care in the world? Why? Because all my needs are met. There's more than enough money in the bank. I don't have to worry. I can sit and smell the roses. My friends and family are feeling safe. They're doing okay. I've got people who are, ready and willing to connect with me. And right now I get to choose my own time. And, like whatever it is, just feel it. Just like him. Look, he's feeling it. In fact, I'm speaking more because I'm communicating with you guys, but I'm speaking more than I would in that moment. I would just feel it, move from one feeling to another, feeling of safety, feeling of certainty, feeling of love, feeling the feeling of having kindness directed towards me, the feeling that you get after somebody gives you something on the house. It's like, oh, you look like you're having a good day. Go ahead and try this. Here, I'll give it to you on the house. Wink, wink. And you're like, oh my God, I feel seen. Oh my God, I am seen. Right? So whatever it is, feel those energies. Have the feeling also of having partnership. If partnership is what you want, what is partnership? Partnership is an energy that we feel and experience. And guess what? Guess what manifests to give you that feeling? A partner. Oh, right? So make sure you throw the romance in there, because if you just feel partnership, you may end up getting a baby or a cousin or a friend or something that steps in to give you those feelings. But if you throw that little extra dose of romance in there, you're also, you're further defining what this relationship or partnership can feel like. For me, oh my gosh, guys, I'm not going to make this about me, but I just want to say that I just have this dream. I love this idea of waking up in bed and I got to sleep a little late because, I usually wake up super early because that's just me. That's how I roll. But maybe my honey bun, like he woke up earlier and he like went down to the corner bakery or something like that, and he came back and he's like, surprise, I got you this hot beverage, love it, a hot beverage with some pastries, and he got himself something. We're just going to town on those pastries, lying in bed and chatting about the day, and we've got time. There's light filtering in, it feels good. He asks me how I slept, and I tell him. We start talking about other things, we share our emotions, we get deeper. We may talk about projects that we want to collaborate on, or there's stuff that he saw outside in an interaction he saw outside or experienced, and he's sharing it with me, and then we're making a plan for the day. And so my point is, or maybe we just decide, look, you know what, we're like, oh my god, we have a lot to do today, but you know what, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go ahead and we're just gonna snuggle and get back to bed and maybe catch a movie and then what, so you see, my point is, feel those feelings. And then when you start feeling these feelings and you start to have these visions in your mind of it progressing and moving into different scenarios, or you're happy and like, oh my god, you balanced our books, thank you. Right? Because that's not me. I don't know, and thank you so much for doing that. That's when you start to realize, oh my god, this is my dream. I'm living the dream, and now we've gone for a drive in my mind, and then you start wondering, oh shoot, this looks so far from what I'm actually in right now. Right now, I'm actually in a connection with somebody who I'm still waiting by the phone to hear from them. Are they going to actually text me tonight, or like, so you see what I mean? So that's an example of where you get mindful and you start to realize, wait, maybe the dreams that really move my heart and my mind and fill my spirit with longing for journeying and travel and curiosity and understanding, those are not being fulfilled. And the next step is like to ask yourself, why am I trying to hold on to things, people, places, things, and situations that are not in alignment with my highest dreams, my goals? Because your dreams are very much alive. If you're watching this video, they're very much alive and very much a potential. And you know what? Spirit is saying, you got to start having the focus, which is based on being devoted to feeling what it is that you truly want to experience. It's wordless, it's all emotional and vision based. And through that, you just keep doing it, you will slip right through, and you surrender the illusions that you have, the wants that you have now, because you're not necessarily you're not necessarily vacuumed out yet. So you're still trying to hold on to certain things, okay? So you know what they say, if it's meant for you, it'll come back, and this and that. And listen, you guys, you will never meet more of a romantic at heart than me, okay? And I'm chronically single, okay? But that's another video altogether. We don't have that kind of time, right? But that being said, I have to tell you that they're kind of right in a sense. When we do this clearing work and this healing work, it changes our vibrations. And if we could just allow ourselves to embrace the idea that we can trust spirit to give us what it is that we want, then we would feel okay with letting go of certain things. Which brings us back to the beginning of this conversation, where I was saying that what's going on is that you're having this process where you're shifting into something huge and amazing and new, but you're struggling to let go of the old life in a sense. And that's what we're seeing here. So you can start, Spirit is saying, by focusing on what it is that you would like to experience. I noticed this card came in like this, so I'm very interested in seeing what that says. Look at that mastery. Ooh, God. Oh my goodness. Spirit is saying, look at the, okay, let's compliment this card. Compliment, not compliment. Okay. Prayers. Okay, makes sense. Focus, prayers, love. Listen, this is the process they're saying. You have that focus based on your feelings, your emotions, your heart's desires, right? And then what happens when you combine that with faith, they're saying, good Lord, and faith and prayers. Look at how this laser focus, look at all these arrows, right? And this beam of light combining with this smoke and the prayers being lifted up. I mean, look what happens. We head out into clarity. You tell the universe, this is what I want. This is what I want. Now, how do you say this is what I want? You know what? We're going to change that. Not even this is what I want. This is what I feel. Because the universe, oh my God, as I'm doing this, look, it's the same movement he's doing. That's what I'm saying. Okay, see, Spirit's trying to tell us something. I was going to say, the universe responds with what you feel. They do not give you what you want. And that's why you're like, I want this and I'm not getting this. I always get that. I don't want that. I want this. But the minute you say want, you're actually implying that you don't have. And so the universe is going to give you what you don't have, right? Because that's what you don't want, right? So anyway, the point is that you have to be clear about what you feel and understand that the universe is going to directly give you a match to what it is that you feel. And so the best thing is if you could feel from a place of love and joy and not from a place of lack, which is what's going on here, right? Could even just be lack of awareness of what you can have, lack of self-worth, lack of whatever. But if you come from that place, look what happens. Destiny. Look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Look at all of these things showing up for your benefit. These are those dreams. And there's a person, they're saying there's a person in there. So if you're looking for love, it's time to really get clear about what it is that you want. Because right now I feel that you might not be. I'm seeing an empty space here. Let's go ahead and pull some cards. Which one? Oh, there's one. Literally, I was going to actually... this. You are never alone. Is that on the board there? Yes, it is. Bing. You're never alone. In fact, that carries the energy of 6. What is this? This card is here. Embrace, right? But it's so interesting because the card off to the side that they had me looking at is release. So you see that? All right. Hold on. Hope. That is definitely what changes things. Oof. Hope, they're saying, is the human spirit. The human spirit has to be able to have hope. Because let's talk about this. If you can't, and see why they put it right here on the focusing and the devotion part. If you can't have hope, then what you're actively saying is that I don't believe in the ability for my dreams to be manifested. In other words, I don't believe that there is a correlation or a reality to me sitting and putting my focused feelings out there and it being matched by the universe. But you see, that's all that's happening. We are master manifestors. We all are always manifesting all day. So that's why if you don't like what's going on in your life, you have to start going inside, because there's a 100% probability. Let's go ahead and say 99%, because then it's in the realm of probability, right? But probability, there's a 99% probability that there is a signal that you're actually putting out there, a feeling that you're actually putting out there that you are completely unaware about. And that's what healing work and shadow work and all of that does for us, because it allows us to become quote unquote aware of the signals that we're putting out there, of the aspects within that are in the driver's seat, that are activated, and that are putting signals out to the universe to say, this is what you need to give me this. If it's stronger than your resolve, like, what are you doing, right? You're going to be overpowered by this. And Spirit is looking, so make sure that you have hope, because hope is going to be the gas that you would put in the vehicle, right? So let's go ahead and take that hope, pour it into the vehicle, like this, right? Or gas, oil, whichever, both, right? Because you know your car will shut down without both, any one of those. So you pour it into the vehicle. With that hope, you're saying, I believe this is possible, okay? And the more hope you have, the more that you're saying, I believe this is probable, right? And then on top of that, you are putting it together with focus, laser focus, based not on what we think, but what we feel. And you're conditioning those feelings with positivity. So positive feelings. What would the ideal relationship feel like? What would the ideal workplace feel like? What would the ideal car feel like? What would the ideal, I guess, trip or travel out there feel like? And what would the ideal home space feel like? What would the ideal connection with your family feel like? You get it? You have to breathe feelings into all of these things that you have going on in your life, because the truth is you already are breathing feelings into them, but you're breathing feelings of contention unawares to you. And so therefore what's happening is you're receiving contention in these different areas of your life. What would it feel like to be debt free? A lot of you would kill that dream before it starts because you don't believe it's possible. You hold ideas about money and abundance, like, oh, if in order to make money I have to expend a lot more energy. That's not right. There are people who are making money in their sleep because they made one video and they're just every day there's a new person watching it and then using it in the commercial and using it, and now they're just getting paid. Just paid. Okay. So that already shows you that's the lie. So you see, you gotta start asking yourself about this. Is money the root of all evil? That right there, you're gonna distance yourself. So you're gonna have to really go inside again to look at how you actually feel about things and just bust out of that stuff. Feel how good it feels to have it. And if something pops up in your mind, but Mama said that people who have money are bad people, and I don't want to be a bad person. Well, when you feel that thought and the feeling pop up, you go, listen, I love you, Mom, but that was your belief. I'm trying to get paid in this lifetime. You know why? Because I want to have more enjoyment in my life. I want to feel good in my life. And you know what? I've suffered a lot. And it's time for me to try something new. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to feel my way right into better bank account. And so that's what you have to do. All right, I will say one more example of that with the money. Don't look at what it is that you have in your bank account at this moment. Don't look at what it is that you can expect to receive for this month based on your job. You have to abandon all of that. So what that looks like is you literally closing your eyes and not even thinking about what you observed in your physical life, because the physical life and everything in it is just a present manifestation of a past moment, a past present moment. And you cannot make changes in the present. You make changes, those deep structural changes, present. In the physical, you make those deep structural changes in the non-physical, and the power is now. You think it, the tracks are laid, and then the train comes, so to speak. Okay, so let's go ahead and turn our attention to the top here. You are never alone, Spirit said, right? So, but I love this. It's the otter spirit, and you guys know I love love. If you know me, love. But at the same time, on the left, we've got this word embrace. And on the right, we have the word release. So it's like, what is it? Is it that I am embracing something and I'm not alone, or that I'm releasing something and I am alone, but yet otter spirit said that I'm not alone? So you're thinking too much. The point is, Spirit is saying the truth is, in all reality, you're never alone. And I can attest to that, because look, you think you're sitting alone in your room. You're not. You've got your angels and guides around you. So I don't know what you're doing, but just letting you know. And that's fine. They're non-invasive, right? But that alone means that you're not alone. So technically, you are never alone on this planet. No one is ever left unattended. If anything, they're left to experience this chart that they asked from a higher perspective to experience. Some of them wanted to experience the loneliness for whatever reason their learning purposes are, right? But you're never alone. At the same time, they're asking you to start considering what it is. Because if you're never alone, then we don't have to worry about ever having that be a reality, right? But what they're asking you, though, is also to consider what is it that you're trying to embrace, and to look at that, because a lot of times when we're trying to embrace something that is actually bringing us pain, you're better off alone, right? And so Spirit is saying, when it comes to knowing what to bring closer and to embrace and hold and fold in your an energetic field, you have to be discerning about it. And that's why it's a very, very, very important to focus your energy based on what it is that you want to feel. Okay. And after you really get on that practice of manifesting based on what you feel, what you'd like to feel, then you'll start to really get into a good place, and it'll become much easier to know when you've become unaligned, because you'll start to have, I guess, not so fun experiences, right? But look at this. Right now, we're struggling, and so we kind of manifest good things and bad things, and then somehow we believe that, oh my gosh, if a good thing happens, we were lucky, and if a bad thing happens, that's what happens. Shit happens in life, right? But they're also telling you here, be discerning when you choose what to embrace, and understand, very importantly, that what it is that you think you want in the physical is not the only way to have the experience that you're really wanting in a non-physical. This is kind of like what we spoke about earlier when they were saying that you think you want a relationship, a romantic relationship, because you want to feel a certain type of way. But actually the truth is you want to feel a certain type of way, and you think that it has to only come through a romantic relationship, but actually it can come through some other form, right? The happiness that you're seeking need not come through the form that you think you want it to. Now listen, I completely understand if you're like, no, but I want it in this form. But see, this is where they're saying, no, you think you want it in this form. Yeah, no, but I actually do want it in this form. No, you think that you want it in this form because you're looking at the form itself. But how could you want a form? What you're actually wanting is an energetic frequency. That's why we do things. That's why people do drugs. That's why they make art. That's why they, wear a certain type of color, because they are after the energy. That's why they go to a certain type of person. It's the energy. And, we get confused and think it's the form that we want. But please know that the confusion is at that mental level. And so the mental level is never going to actually be telling you what it is that your spirit wants and that it wants to complete its experience with. And so trust when spirit says that, remember that what it is that you would like to feel, and what would make you really happy and feel good on the inside and fulfilled, can actually come through many, many different forms. Okay. And with the release, I think that one is pretty straightforward. Thanks, Spirit. That one's pretty straightforward. It's reminding us to understand that life is an ebb and a flow, and we're constantly changing. And yes, there are some things that we would like to experience for the long term, like certain relationships, and so therefore so it will be, so it has the opportunity to be. But there are just some things that are just not designed to stay for the long term. And that's how it is, because we're constantly changing. We're constantly having new experiences that create changes for us, and also the people around us are constantly changing as well. Look at the institutions themselves, right? They can barely stay afloat these days because the people that make up the institutions are having their awakenings. They're changing. So anyway, if you can learn to balance this ebb and flow, this in and out, up, down, embrace, release, all while remembering, that we're never alone, that's mastery, which makes sense. Also, look, here's the word mastery. That's a level of mastery that can take you through for quite some time, Spirit is saying. All right. Okay. I just realized I've been talking for like a long time. Anyway, so guys, I am going to just go ahead and let you know, Leo, that if this reading is for you, chances are that you are needing to close out a cycle, and maybe you're having a little bit of trouble letting go of your old life or certain forms that you would like to hold on to. For example, relationships, a certain job, a place that you're living. And understandably, it's because you don't trust that something, that the other side of this coin, that the other side of this door is going to be your dream, the manifestation of the dreams that you really would align with more. And so Spirit is saying, and they're actually even adding that, you may not even be able to see or even envision that it's actually better than what you could sit here and try and manifest through feelings, right? But they're saying that the best way to unlock this door and to give yourself the safety that you need to really make this journey is to sit and go into the feelings and ask what your ideal blah 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 would be, and really try to dissociate, no, not dissociate, disassociate your dreams with the person you're with, from the person you're with, from the job that you're at, because you want to get into that neutral space and really think, what is it that I want? And if you're really being honest with yourself from that place of what you're feeling in your ideal status, it's either these people, places, things, and situations accord with it or they don't. But either way, you're going to reach your happiness because you're putting it out there and you're feeling it, and the universe is picking up on that signal. Right? 1 minute you're vibing blue, and the next minute you're sitting there and you're vibing yellow or gold. Gold, 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 gold. The universe is going to start filling your order for gold, with gold. So get clear on what it is that you'd like to really have. Take the steps that you need to move forward, and put some faith in it, Spirit is saying, and you will have what it is that you seek. The last card that they're bringing in, God bless, which is so appropriate, is this one, recognition and reward. So trust in the plan, work this master healing, because this is healing at a level of mastery, is what they're saying, which we see here, right? It's very, very specific. It's very pointed. Yeah, so go ahead and cut to the chase and do that healing, and then look what happens. Your dreams. And it's cute because right here, this is carrying 6 of Wands victory energy, but it's almost like he's still in that place where they're like, don't open your eyes yet, don't open your eyes yet, because people are still assembling all of these gifts in front of them, and then they're going to be like, okay, open your eyes now, and then you open your eyes and it's like, oh my God, look at everything. Right? And so it's great. You're like, I did that. Right? And of course, by then you're not really looking around to see if that specific person, is there, or that specific job, because you're seeing something better. Oh my God, I didn't know. Anyway, so this is what I'm getting. So if you are attracted to this video, I can assure you that your dreams are not dead, because that's a major part of this, that's a major aspect of this reading. So it means that if this reading is for you and it resonates, that means that not only are you going through a shift right now that you should really try to get on board with, but you have dreams right around the corner. You just need to keep feeding the universe with your feelings, your desired feelings, okay? All right, guys, so that's the wrap up for today. And if you'd like to have a personal reading with me, again, feel free to reach out. You guys know where I'm at. Just look for my Etsy link, okay? And until then, God bless.